Most people don't have an evening routine, they have an evening escape. TV, scrolling, overeating, overthinking, dreading tomorrow, regretting today. But what if your evenings became your secret weapon? What if instead of winding down with distractions, you use those precious final hours of the day to reset your mind, regain control, and build the kind of life that ancient Stoics would respect? How you end your day absolutely determines how you start the next. And the Stoics, they knew this better than anyone. In this video, we're going to walk through 7 powerful Stoic-inspired practices to transform your evenings, not in a productivity hack kind of way, but in a grounded, meaningful, self-respecting kind of way. We'll talk about how Marcus Aurelius reflected before sleep, why Seneca believed the evenings were sacred, and how Epictetus would have told you to stop chasing the noise and start embracing stillness. Each point is designed to help you clear your mind, calm your emotions, and end your day with a sense of purpose, no matter what kind of chaos you've dealt with. So whether you're an athlete looking to sharpen your mental game, a business owner trying to stay centered, or just someone who wants to feel a little bit more peace at night, then this one is for you. Point 1. Review the day without judgment. Most people replay their day like a courtroom drama. They put themselves on trial. I should have said this, I shouldn't have said that. But Seneca offered a different approach. He said, when the light has been removed and my wife has fallen silent, I examine my entire day and go back over what I've done and said. He didn't say he beat himself up over it. He examined it. The key here is awareness, not shame. Ask yourself, where did I act in alignment with who I want to be? Where did I fall short? But here's the important part. Once you've seen it clearly, let it go. Because Epictetus reminds us, it's not things that upset us, it's our judgment about things. If you can end your day with clarity instead of chaos, you give yourself a better shot at showing up tomorrow with strength. So write it down, say it out loud, think it through, but don't carry it to bed like some kind of emotional luggage. Point 2, disconnect to reconnect. Let's be honest, most evening routines don't actually begin, they bleed into the night. One last email, one last reel, one last dopamine hit, but the Stoics would call that exactly what it is, slavery. Epictetus said, no man is free who is not a master of himself. So ask yourself, are you in control of your phone or is your phone in control of you? A good evening routine requires a conscious cut-off. Think of it like turning down the volume on the world so you can hear yourself again. That might mean switching your phone to airplane mode after 8 p.m, no screens in the bedroom, reading a physical book instead of watching someone else's life on YouTube. When you reclaim those final hours of the day, you're not just avoiding burnout, you're reinforcing sovereignty over your own life, because every notification you ignore is a rep in the gym of self-mastery. Point 3, write, don't scroll. Now, this one's simple but powerful. Write not a to-do list, not a long essay, just your thoughts. It could be journaling, it could be gratitude, it could be a single sentence like, today I kept my cool when I wanted to explode. Whatever it is, make it yours. Marcus Aurelius didn't write meditations for an audience. He wrote to remind himself who he wanted to be, and that's all journaling really is, a mirror for the soul. So instead of ending your day in someone else's digital camera, close it with your own voice. It's a small act, but a sacred one, and it adds up, because the more you reflect, the more you refine, and the more you refine, the more you become the person that you're actually proud to be. Point 4, practice voluntary discomfort. Discomfort in the evening? Aren't we supposed to be relaxing? Well, yeah, but not indulging. There's a big difference. See, the Stoics didn't fear discomfort, they invited it. Seneca famously slept on the floor once a month, ate the simplest food, wore rough clothes, not because he had to, but because he wanted to practice letting go of luxury. Now, I'm not saying you need to trade your mattress for the floor or eat cold oats for dinner, but maybe tonight you could skip the late night snack. Maybe you could sit in silence for 10 minutes, no music, no distractions, or turn the shower to cold for at least 30 seconds before stepping out. Why? Because these small acts of chosen discomfort toughen your spirit. They whisper to your brain, I can handle life without my comforts. I'm not controlled by cravings. And when the real discomfort shows up, the kind you didn't choose, you'll be ready. Point 5, forgive someone even if it's you. This one's big, because nothing poisons a peaceful evening faster than bitterness. The Stoics were warriors of the mind, but they didn't carry grudges into battle. Epictetus said, when someone does wrong, it's because they believe it's right. They act out of ignorance. If you can, help them. If you can't, let it go. There's a freedom in forgiveness, and that doesn't mean pretending the wrong didn't happen. It means refusing to carry the weight of it any longer. Some nights, that forgiveness needs to go outward, to the person who annoyed you, offended you, or maybe even hurt you. But many nights, the forgiveness needs to go inward. Maybe you didn't stick to your diet. Maybe you snapped at someone that you care about. Maybe you wasted long hours doing nothing productive. Alright, you messed up, but now what? As Marcus Aurelius reminds us, When you make a mistake, don't add to it by clinging onto it. Let it go, learn, and try again tomorrow. Because beating yourself up doesn't make you stronger. Letting go with grace does. So we've reflected, we've disconnected, we've journaled, we've chosen discomfort, we've forgiven, and already noticed how different this version of your evening looks. It's not about rules, it's not about productivity cult, it's just a more conscious way to, close the day. But we're not done. In the next 2 points, we'll cover the final things to seal your evening in Stoic stillness, plus a practical takeaway you can start tonight. Point 6, study something that makes you wiser. You've heard the phrase, you are what you eat, but the Stoics would say you are what you consume. Period. What you read, what you watch, what you let into your mind. Seneca believed we should end each day by feeding ourselves with something nourishing. He wrote, we should linger over a few chosen thoughts and digest them thoroughly. So here's the challenge. Before bed, trade just 10 minutes of screen time for study time. Not to cram your head with facts, but to anchor your mind in wisdom. Read a page of meditations. Revisit a quote that stirs something in you. Watch a short video or listen to a podcast that calms your nervous system. Not all knowledge is wisdom, but Stoicism teaches you the difference. And if you want to live better days, then start by ending your days with better thoughts. Point 7, go to sleep on purpose. Sounds obvious, right? But you'd be surprised how many people don't actually go to sleep, they just pass out. The Stoics were all about intentionality. They didn't drift through life, they lived deliberately, Marcus Aurelius often reminded himself of death before sleep. Not in a morbid way, but in a liberating one. You could leave life right now, he wrote. Let that determine what you do, say, and think. And what better moment to remember that than at the end of your day. So don't just crash into bed. Instead, prepare for sleep as if you were preparing to meet yourself. Dim the lights, slow your breathing, let your final thoughts be peaceful. No revenge or arguments in your head, no reliving regrets, no imaginary futures where everything goes wrong. Instead, remind yourself, I did what I could today and lived with intention. And tomorrow, I'll begin again. That is Stoicism, that is strength. Here's the truth. Most people think change happens in the mornings, but the real transformation is born the night before, because your evening routine prepares your mind or poisons it. So tonight, instead of numbing out, try this. Pause, reflect, forgive, and study. Also sleep, on purpose. You don't need to be perfect. Just be present, be intentional, be a little bit better than yesterday. And as the Stoics remind us, well begun is half done, but so is well ended. If you got value from this video, there's a good chance that you'll also enjoy the one currently on screen, and maybe even subscribe. I upload weekly and really enjoy connecting with you guys. Until then, take it easy, and remember, everything you need is within you. I'll catch you on the next one.